Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress Video. I thought I was done messing with the shot aesthetic here, but I'm not. With this little cactus salt shaker. Oh, it's just like too big, but it still looks cute, right? Okay. So today, let's turn on the light. The lighting might be a little weird. I decided to do this at my kitchen table, so the sound probably is a little bit more echoey than you're used to. Let me know if it's intolerable and I won't do this at my kitchen table again, but lately I've been really drawn to kitschy things, and I've been wanting to acquire cute decks and kitschy decks and irreverent decks and just things that don't take themselves too seriously. That reminded me, just saying that out loud reminded me, I want to get a Star Trek playing card deck because I just ordered the Magic Nico deck from Stasia Burrington because I want to learn to read with playing cards. Anyway, if you guys have any suggestions for cute decks, simple decks, irreverent decks, kitschy decks, I would love to have more decks that are just kind of cheeky. I don't know, it's weird. I haven't really been drawn to those types of decks before now. But anyway, today we are doing an unfair comparison. Per your vote, you guys voted most to see Modern Witch versus Everyday Tarot. I just got this Everyday Tarot deck, and let's light a candle. I just got this Everyday Tarot. Can I fit my lighter in here? Why am I worried so much about aesthetic all of a sudden? Y'all know I'm lo-fi. I'm ratchet. Okay, so here we go. It's kind of weird to compare these two decks actually. One thing that I really like about the Everyday Tarot is that it's a 3-color deck. That's another thing I'm really drawn to lately is the 3-color decks, which is why I put Marigold Tarot as an option because it's a 3-color deck. I'm also waiting on, I recently in the last couple weeks ordered Lovely Omens Tarot, which is pink, black, and white are the 3 colors in that deck. And I also ordered Gorgonz Tarot. Basically my whole limit of having 20 tarot decks is completely out the window at this point. I'm gonna have 25 decks when all of the ones that I've ordered come to me. Anyway, this is a little bit of a babbling session too, apparently. So we're just hanging out today. It's a Friday afternoon. It's my day off this week. We are shorthanded at the library where I work. So I've been working my ass off this week. So I'm just really chilling with you guys today at my kitchen table. So here we go. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be weird to compare these two decks. Weirdly, I've resisted getting this Everyday Tarot deck. I'll just start flipping while I'm babbling, I guess. Because, I don't know, I didn't like it at all at first. And now I'm really reveling in the simplicity of it. I feel like I'm kind of going back to basics with my tarot knowledge lately. And I'm kind of I've been going through decks that I've had for a year and a half and suddenly seeing symbolism in them that I didn't see before. It's really interesting. I love how simple it is, You've just got flowing hair, a crown, you've got the indication of pillars on the side. She's holding a crystal ball, and there's still the moon. And her crown still has that classic shape of being the 3 phases of the moon. I want to give a quick shout out. I've never done one of these before, but I'm going to do an August favorites video. I'm probably going to film it next Tuesday, so it'll probably show up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, it will show up in your subscription feed late Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, depending on how long it takes me to upload it. But I've actually been really I have a pretty well-rounded like August favorites. Like I've read some books that I've really, really enjoyed this month, and stuff like that. And I wanted to give a shout out because this person's going to be on my favorites video, but I'm going to give him a shout out here too, to Casper from Boy Diviner channel. He has given me a couple of shout outs in his recent videos, and I just think he's incredibly sweet and supportive to other tarot readers in the community on here on YouTube, and he's just such a wonderful person, and his videos are so cool and interesting and thoughtful. And I just wanted to give him a shout out because some of y'all might actually be here because he shouted me out, which is great. I love lifting up other people in the community, and like I'm going to talk more about him in my favorites video, so I should probably just shut up. But go over and follow him if you haven't, because he's amazing. Casper from Boy Diviner. Okay. Yes. I also like that the way that this deck utilizes, because it's only a 3-color deck, there's actually people are either purple skinned, gold skinned, or white skinned. So I kind of like the use of adding people of color in that way. There isn't enough of it. Like most of the figures do have white skin in this everyday tarot, but it's still good. It's good that they did that, at least. Like why does he have a flame? Like I think it's just supposed to be covering him. There's that deck. What is that deck? There's another like really simple deck. I think it's just black and gold. I can't remember what it's called, but it has like a fully erect penis on the Lover's card. And for a long time, I got it confused with this deck. And I'm so glad it's not, because I can't. No, it's not for me. But yes, this is a flame crotch I can handle. That's okay. It works. I don't know, it's making me uncomfortable putting these two decks side by side, because this truly is an unfair comparison, even though these are both Rider-Waite-Smith based in their symbolism, which is why I thought they might go well together. They really kind of don't. I mean, it's interesting to look at it from like a base symbolism level. You know, like we have the two sphinxes, the light and the dark. We still have the two moons. We still have the wand. So it's interesting to like, in that sense of like, if you're trying to pick out the like sort of base symbolism in each card in a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you could do that by comparing these two. I like the flowers in this deck. They're so like simple flower of life / hippie flowers, and I like that. I think this deck could have leaned a little harder on androgyny because of how simple it is. I think a lot of the time you can definitely tell which gender they're going for, and they didn't have to do that. You know, this hermit could have just presented as an older looking figure. It didn't have to have a beard to easily signify it as a man. I just think that's a missed opportunity. That's just my opinion. I'm working in a very small area right now. The sword and the scales, that's really all you need to show a justice card. I mean, you can do it in other ways too, but still getting to know this everyday tarot deck. It's become my purse deck simply because it's so small and portable. And it's very easy to shuffle. It's pretty impressive. Like, I'm sure, like, I'm late to the party on everyday tarot. Like, people have had this deck and enjoyed this deck for a while, but it's only $10. So if you're looking for like budget tarot, I mean, you can get Modern Witch for like probably 20 bucks. You know, it's not an expensive deck. Both of these are very affordable. But for if you're drawn to everyday tarot and you're looking to learn the tarot for the first time, this would be a great starter deck. If you're not even sure if you're going to like reading tarot, it's not a huge investment. You can spend 10 bucks. It's got a nice simple guidebook. It's decent quality. It's small. It's got all the Rider-Waite-Smith based symbolism, so you can use it in conjunction with like any tarot deck. The same can be said for Modern Witch as well. So in that sense, this really is a good comparison, because both of these would be excellent starter decks, because most tarot books are going to refer to the Rider-Waite-Smith system, and both of these employ most of that symbolism. So in that sense, I would highly recommend both of these decks. Keep in mind though, if you've never seen the Modern Witch before, Modern Witch Tarot, this one is trimmed. So whenever you get it, it will have borders and it will be regular full-size tarot. Whereas this one's like, it's kind of smaller than playing card size. In fact, I am right next to my like board game table. So I'm going to pause this really quick and get out a playing card so you can see comparison. Actually, now I'm thinking, oh, it is a little bit smaller, or is it? No, it's exact. This is playing card size. Yeah, cool. I forgot I had these cards. Look at this gorgeousness. Day of the Dead, playing cards. It's just a little bonus. I don't know if I've ever used that deck. I don't actually play. I love playing board games and stuff with friends, but I don't really play card games. I mean, I'm totally into it. If somebody wants to play card games, I'm into it, but... So yeah, this is exactly playing card size, the Everyday Tarot. Still got the 8-pointed star, which I think is an important symbol in the star card. Both of these have that. And this, an Everyday Tarot would be a good one for somebody that does shy away from nudity in a tarot deck. There's plenty of nudity in Modern Witch, and I am totally here for it. Totally here for having some bush in my tarot cards, as you saw in that star card. But this deck, the way that it does nudity is, you know, you can tell that it's there, but you're not seeing anything, you know? I love how they did the coffin. It's just so simple. It's just a shape, but you still know that she's standing up from a coffin. There's no water element in this card though, which is interesting because water is employed in this Everyday Tarot in a lot of cards. I'll show you when we see another of them. And I kind of like the way they do it too. Like here in the Ace of Wands. I was thinking that there isn't usually water in the Ace of Wands, but there is. See, that's, I think right now for me, taking it back to like really simple imagery is helping me like relearn tarot. Like, I think I get overstimulated. I mean, this isn't even an overstimulating image, but like, I don't usually take the time to like stop and say, okay, what is this? Okay, there's a hand coming out of the clouds and there's this light in the background and there's these little leaves flowing through the air. And like, just that basic tarot symbolism is easier for me to notice in a simple color palette and simple imagery. So it's helping me understand like all of my tarot decks better to have these like simpler decks like this. I don't know if that makes sense. You guys, if you watched my last, I think it was my last video or one of my most recent videos where I was like showing off the knockoff Modern Witch deck. Oh my God, you guys. I can't even use it. I can't. It bothers me. It's just so, the quality is just so bad. So even though it's easy to shuffle, I don't think I'm going to keep it. It's already in my purgatory drawer, as I call it, where I put decks that I'm pretty sure I'm going to get rid of, but I'm not ready to do it yet. So I'll probably have, like, I don't want you guys to get excited because I'm not ready to do it yet, but I'll probably have a giveaway for that Modern Witch knockoff deck. So stay tuned, I guess. Like, it'll probably be in the next month or so. Like, I don't really hold on to things very long if I know I don't want them. I'm a little worried about sending things through the mail right now since the Postal Service is having so many issues. Sorry, I'm not actually commenting on the imagery that much. I'm just kind of babbling. Apparently, this is just a hangout session with Mixtress where you get to see two decks side by side. I like that her wand has a little flame. See, this has all the elements, like, of Seven of Wands. All the elements that need to be there. 6 against 1. Higher ground. The flame. Helps with, like, you know, just fire element in general, and helps with the visual interest of this image. It's great. I like that they added the birds in this Eight of Wands because it conveys the movement that is needed in the Eight of Wands very easily. You know, if they had just had these 8 wands in a diagonal shape, you could still get movement from it, but like typically that's why you have like the clouds in this type of formation, because they look like they're in movement. And then this one, you've got the motorcycle too, which is great. Love the desert aspect. Anytime there's lots of desert elements in the wand suit, I am so here for it. Sorry, I think it just banged into the camera. Interesting. He has this arm in a sling. Oh wait, that's in the normal imagery, isn't it? See? It's like, how do I not know this? The RWS is like the system that I learned on. He does have his arm in a sling usually, doesn't he? Oh God, now I want to know. Hold please, I will go get an RWS deck and check. No, he does not. Why was I like imagining him with his arm in a sling? I think the 9 of Wands in the Children of Letha Tarot has a fox that is like injured and kind of bleeding, like his arm, his paw is bleeding or something. I think that's what I was thinking of, and I was combining it with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. But interesting that the arm is in a sling. So that's a little bit of symbolism that strays from the RWS, but is depicted in other 9 of Wands cards. This is why, like, I am actually, like, despite my efforts to not become a tarot collector, like, I wanted to have, in the beginning, I thought, maybe I'll have 10 decks, you know, 5 or 10 decks. And then it was like, okay, maybe I'll have 20. And now I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I will get to the point where you see me in my videos with just like a shelf wall of tarot behind me, but who knows? Because like the thing about collecting decks is that every deck, the imagery kind of awakens the meaning of the card for you, because like a slight variation in the way that they depict that particular energy, as long as it still resonates with you. Like, I don't want to be an advocate for, like, I don't know. It feels like so consumerist to me to just like keep buying decks and buying decks, but so far it seems to be enriching my experience, even if I don't keep a deck. Like sometimes I will get a deck and I'll really enjoy it and I'll think it's interesting, but it really won't resonate with me, so I'll pass it on. But like the experience of having it and using it for a little while was helpful to me in some way, if that makes sense. I just love that you can still get all the relevant symbolism with such a simple image. This deck, the thing that's cool about Everyday Tarot is you can really bring yourself to the cards because they're so, I mean, I keep saying the word simple. I want a different word. Minimal. That's a good word. they're so minimal. I like that he's sort of like conjuring a little flame. That's great for a King of Wands. I do kind of miss, like, there's no lizard imagery in the court cards. Yeah, they just chose to leave that out. I'm a little sad about that, because anytime there's like animal symbolism, I want it to always be there. So I'm sad that they left out that. Here we go. I probably missed other cards that employed water, but I like the way they do water in this deck. It's very simple. And I did a reading with this deck earlier today, and I ended up with several Cups cards. And it was interesting because the way the reading progressed, it was like the level of the water was rising in the cards. So I think they actually employ how high the level of water is in the Cups cards, especially. So we'll see how that goes. So Ace of Cups, that's a reasonable water level, you know. And it made sense with my reading, because I was like, oh, the emotions are rising in the progress of, it was a linear style reading too, like it was for the month of September. So you could see that I even had like a swords card in there that had a water level in it. I was like, oh, okay, emotions are rising. That's easy to see because you're seeing the water levels rise. Apparently I'm just a simple girl. I'm a simple girl and I like a simple deck. See here, no water, because you're apathetic. You're not feeling the emotions. Like, presumably there's water inside these cups, but you're not taking the time to look and see what's in the cups. And here in the Five of Cups, that water level is high. I mean, it's all the way up to this guy's like butt, you know? Although the fact that I mean, I know that like the Five of Cups always has, I mean, Rider-Waite-Smith based decks, like in like the regular one, he's in like a cloak. I guess since I have that deck here, I can go ahead and find it. Like he always has this like cloak, but in this image, for some reason, it looks like more comforting. And I've never seen it that way before. But the fact that he's wearing, or she is wearing like a big all-encompassing cloak, it makes sense. Like when you're in the middle of grief, you know, you're comforted by just kind of like throwing a big blanket on and kind of cocooning yourself for a while until you're ready to reemerge into the world. See? Oh, this is why I do these videos, guys. Because I will always think of that now when I see the Five of Cups. I really like this one, just in general. I just really like it. You get the sense that this is, I mean, in my mind, this is like an aunt offering her wisdom in her life. I mean, she's still young, but offering wisdom to her like niece. I don't know. I just really like that. And like the houses that are like way too close together. That's what my neighborhood is like that. And it annoys me that the houses are that close together, but it gives you the sense of like community and city and urban environments. I don't like that everyday, I keep wanting to call it everyday witch, everyday tarot, everything's heteronormative, you know, like, again, with how minimal and simple the imagery is, they could have leaned into androgyny easily, and they didn't. So That is a missed opportunity. I love that. I love her dress. It's great. I mean, it's not the traditional Page of Cups style dress, but it's a loud fabric, you know? It's a say something fabric, and I think that is the important aspect of what the Page of Cups wears. And look at his little fish cloak. That is so cool. Is that I think it's a crystallographic image when it just like repeats like that. I don't know if there's another word for it. The fact that like the negative space of the white and gold fish, well, no, it doesn't actually make another fish. I thought it did. It kind of looks like it does, but it really doesn't. Cute. Love a mermaid. Love mermaid energy and Queen of Cups. So both of these cards have that. Like, she might even be a mermaid. She might, I mean, you can't see her feet. In my mind, she's definitely a mermaid. And I love this, like her super long hair and the little fish in her hair. So cute. And we got a Mermaid King. This little fish back here, jumping out of the water. Love it. Does the RWS have that too? Yep, he's got this little guy back here. Oh my god. Yes, okay. I'm having too much fun. I'm not sure how I feel about, like, just, do all the aces have that in this everyday tarot? Like, let me check. Yeah, wands coming out of this little flower. I mean, it's fine because at least they're being consistent about it. Oh, this one doesn't. Okay, so maybe they're not being consistent about it. Let's just look. Okay, well, I can handle that because, like, two of the suits, it's got the hand just coming from the side of the image, and then two of the suits, it's got the hand coming out of this, like, little flower situation. But I prefer the bigger hand just coming out of the side of the image. God, I love this one so much. Just the color. The lavender and lilac and the sort of like pale warm yellow and the pink and the mountains. This card is just, this really gives me all the feels that I need for the Ace of Swords in Modern Witch. See, I'm so struck by, like, okay, what do you need in a Two of Swords? You need cross swords, you need a crescent moon, you need a blindfold, and you need some water in the background. And this has all of that in a very straightforward way. I do kind of miss one thing that's important for me with the symbolism. Actually, this is wrong. I mean, she's still in a relaxed posture, but in the regular Two of Swords, god damn it, I'm gonna get that one out too. Oh my god, you guys, I don't have to get it out, it's right here. It's hard to see because of the editing that I did on this image and the fact that my text is on top of it. But you can see that her legs are not crossed, her legs are relaxed. And I think that's part of the symbolism, that, you know, she's closing herself off to the outside elements of the world so that she can pay attention to her own intuition, which is kind of why that moon is there. And she's setting boundaries, healthy boundaries with herself and others, but she's still relaxed. Like, I kind of don't like that her legs are crossed in this, even though she still looks relaxed. I kind of don't like that you can't see whether or not her legs are crossed. I mean, I guess she's standing, so you can assume that her legs are not crossed. Yeah. Two of Swords. One of the important cards for me, which is why it's on my little tarot business card. Three of Swords too. I'm really good at breakup. Like I've realized like I pull the Three of Swords a lot, and it's not because I'm necessarily about to go through a breakup or anything, but it's just because I'm really that particular energy. Like I'm good at supporting people through breakups, I've noticed. Like, I don't know why. I think it's because my soul card is the Lover's card, so it makes sense that I would be, but I'm not that great at, I mean, I'm okay at like love readings and stuff, but I'm better at breakup readings for some reason. Okay, there is water in the Eight of Swords normally. Like, well, I was looking at this card earlier because I pulled it for that reading I was doing. And I was like, okay, that's interesting that there's water in the Eight of Swords, but there's always water in the Eight of Swords. See? I must just be at a good astrological moment for me to like, I need to like flip through all of my decks right now and just like try to read them intuitively and see what comes up. Interesting that they chose for 4 of the swords to have a gold handle when the rest of them have white. I wonder what that's about. And the actual blade of the sword is a different color too. Don't love the like Grecian look. I don't know why. I know it's like most people do like it or they just don't notice it. But like I'm not into Greek stuff in general. I don't know why. I just like have some sort of weird aversion to it. I wonder if like all these swords court cards are very like Greek inspired in their dress, I feel. I like the way that they drew this throne though, because it looks like a scale, or not a scale, it looks like an hourglass. And it's just so fucking simple, but you can tell it's a throne, or at least a chair. Oh, they did the same thing with his. God, I just love this. This sort of like gorgeous Tiffany blue sky with this hot pink down here, and these shoes. These shoes are like a very pale lilac. It's hard to tell from far away, but look at that. Sorry, I keep banging into the camera because it's like right there when I'm flipping the cards. Simple. I like this. Like the row of 3 flowers down here, the trees above. Very earthy. Makes sense. I don't know, it's interesting because like you really can compare these 2 decks, like, you know, because of the RWS symbolism. But at the same time, it's like I'm just so in love with the Modern Witch. I mean, it's one of my very favorite decks for sure. I hope they like re-release it in a smaller cardstock, or not smaller, thinner. I want them to re-release it in a thinner cardstock. I would love for that to become a trend. I think I've probably said this in another video before. I would love for it to become a trend that like you can have options, because I know a lot of people prefer the thicker cardstock, but a lot of other people don't, like me. So if you could have a choice, I mean, for me, it would be like I'd choose linen like playing card type cardstock for everything because I wanna riffle shuffle things. Interesting that she's alone. I mean, it still works. And I like that this has become like a little tree. For some reason it bothers me even more. Like the Six of Pentacles, like the hierarchy of it, the like, I'm better than you and I'm going to offer you something because I'm so generous aspect of the Six of Pentacles has always bugged me, and I know I've mentioned that before. But it bothers me even more when the figure is looking away, you know? And in this sense, like, these glasses are obscuring her eyes. So it's like she's not really she's not really being mindful of what she's doing for someone else, you know? I don't like that she looks really unhappy about that plant. Like, it looks great, girl. Why are you so unhappy about it? Look at that little baby. Look at that little baby bird. Look at it. So cute. So cute. Oh, good. Okay, I didn't make this. For some reason, my phone will cut off a video once it's hit. I think it's 46 minutes and 43 seconds exactly. I don't know why. It doesn't matter how much space I have on my phone, but it does that. So I'm glad that I didn't go that long this time because I have to edit videos. I have to cut clips together if that happens. And I don't really edit my videos. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I really don't. It just takes too much computing power, and I do not have a new computer. Actually, I have a computer that I just bought a few months ago, but it is not new. It is from 2014. But it's newer than the one from 2010 that I've had since 2010. Just love anytime these flowers are in an image. Interesting that he has it on his like armor. He's got like a little flower on his armor. That's cool. One thing I will say for Everyday Tarot, even though I don't think I think they could have gone a lot further with like depicting people of color, because I mean in this sense they're purple when they're dark skinned, but at least I believe half of the court cards are like depicted as purple. Like the pentacles are all purple / dark skinned. Okay, let me go back, as I forgot I was going to mention that. I got this deck all out of order because I was fucking around. The wands are all dark skinned. The cups are light skinned, I believe. Cup court cards are light skinned. And then the swords are all gold skinned. So you get like a little bit of a variation that way. So 2 suits dark skin / purple, 2 suits white, and then 1 gold. Again, I think they could have gone further with it, but at least they did that, you know? And they kept it consistent within the court cards of that particular suit. And it aligns with the way that I think of wands and pentacles as being darker skinned people, because I think of, I don't know why I do with pentacles, I just do. Like, that's the way I associate. Not that you have to look a certain way to be a court card. Like, you do not. You do not. But just in general, I think of pentacles as being darker skinned people, and also with wands because I think of them as living in the desert. So they'd have pretty dark skin if they lived in the desert, you know? There you go. So that's my unfair comparisons of everyday tarot and modern witch tarot. So I hope that you enjoyed my babbling today. And I hope you're having a great Friday, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Yeah, and I will see you in the next one. I'm probably going to do an August favorites video early next week. And what else? And I've got a few tarot decks on their way to me, so I might do some like unboxings / first impressions for Lovely Omens Tarot, for Magic Nico. It's a playing card deck by Stasia Burrington. And what's the other one I have coming? Oh, Gorgonz Tarot. I just saw that in a video. It's like a black and white deck. It has a couple of cards that have like red on them, I think. And it'll be my first black and white only deck. But the imagery is really interesting to me. So I will definitely be doing like a flip through of that one when it comes in. Yeah. If you guys would like a reading from me, obviously, here is the information for that, and the link is in the description below as well. And all of my readings are 40% off, except for my 10-minute readings. My 10-minute readings are cheaper anyway, so they're not 40% off, but like my half-hour readings and my hour readings are 40% off right now. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.